Okay, first video back. It's already gonna be a doozy. I've watched this much of this Dr. Phil episode because I saw this title and I knew I had to click it. And look at her. She looks like the type of person who would call the police on a 6-year-old. She's definitely giving off Karen vibes.
My 6-year-old grand.
Okay. And for starters, she's. What is going on? What? Okay. Alright. For starters, she just really does look sad. Like her eyes are just completely black and empty, like she's staring straight into Lucifer's soul right now. He's like the living embodiment of a turtle that turned into the hare that won the race.
Granddaughter loved to play games on my cell phone. One day, my phone was missing. My granddaughter would not give me my phone back, and Janine would not tell her to give me my phone.
Liz
Belt.
told my 6-year-old that she was going to call the police and have her arrested.
I went to the neighbor's house and asked them to call the police. The neighbor called 911.
When the police officer realized that nothing was going on, he said, "Had a nice day," and left. At this point, my children have all
Imagine how pissed you'd be getting called. You think it's, some sort of emergency, as 911 calls should be, and it's a grandma who can't get the 6-year-old to give the phone back. A belt does a lot better job than a police officer. You don't need the law to get involved with everything, and that's the staple of a Karen. Capel? The Karen staple is you do what I want, or me call 911.
don't want to have a relationship with their grandmother, and knowing how my mother acts and how dramatic she is, I don't blame them.
You called the police on a 6-year-old because they wouldn't give you your phone back?
I didn't call the police on a 6-year-old because she wouldn't give me my phone back.
So then, what does that sound like? What was that whole story about then? You're telling me they just wrote that novel just like because? Jesus Christ. Looking at her really, I feel like I'm getting a silver streak in my hair just looking at her. She makes me want to age just so I could die faster.
Called the police because my daughter refused to have her daughter return my phone.
So no, Dr. Phil, I didn't call the police on the 6-year-old because she wouldn't give me my phone. I called the police on my adult daughter who wouldn't tell the 6-year-old to give me my phone. Ah, now, Dr. Phil, I know you've seen a lot of shit in your life, but never before have you been bested like this. This is a foolproof argument, watertight.
She knew exactly where it was.
I didn't know where it was. I had asked her several times, give Alma her phone so that she'll leave the room and you can just stay in here with me.
Yeah, that's another thing. What parent would just be like, nah, I'm not gonna tell him to give you your phone back even though it's your property? What parent would do that? As soon as I heard that, I really just didn't believe it because no parent's gonna be like, oh, that's your phone that my kid's playing with? Not anymore. Shit. Bye. Like, no one's, no one's gonna do that.
And you scared her, you terrified her.
In fact, to this day, every time she sees a police officer, she cowers a little bit. She thinks that they're there for her.
She literally told me she does not want to see you because you called the police on her.
Okay, see that's a big problem. We can't be getting people scared of the police. That's a huge problem. And this fucking troglodyte did it because of a phone.
You called the cops on a 6-year-old?
I didn't call.
Yes, you did. Now, don't play semantics with me. You called the cops on a 6-year-old.
I wanted my phone, Dr. Phil. She had looked on my phone. She had read through all my.
Ah, yeesh.
She had read through.
Once she realized that the foolproof argument wasn't so proof, she went to Karen tactic number 2. Tears. Victim playing. Ah, yes. I am the one who has been hurt here, not the 6-year-old girl who's probably been scarred for life of police officers. She didn't give me my phone back, and I didn't have my phone for a whole 40 minutes. 40! You know what that can do to a man?
All my text messages. I felt very violated.
After you
and
gave the phone to the kids
And you
unlocked.
thought that was a police matter.
I told them it's not an emergency.
But
I
you called
told them.
You called 911, the emergency hotline, for something that's a non-emergency. Need I say more?
911, which is an emergency number.
Thank you.
I really don't want to argue with you about it. It's just,
Well, I wouldn't either if I were you.
I don't want to argue about
I
it.
mean, come on. I mean, I'm just talking about common sense here.
And-
If you guys are living in a place that is really a bad mess, well, let me ask you this question. Why is the house in such bad array to begin with?
It's not.
Okay, so I have no clue what this is. They never mentioned this before, previously, whatever. There's probably some other videos on this, so sounds like they have a shitty living situation already. I don't know, man. Just a little bit of extra story there, a little bit of lore.
Not. It was in a mess because
At
I
the
was
time.
not feeling good at the time. But under normal circumstances, it's not.
Again, I
Now, come on, don't try to defend
No,
the
no, I'm not trying to.
indefensible.
I'm just trying to defend.
I'm just
anything.
trying to be reasonable. There's two sides to
Absolutely.
this, and if the place is a pigsty, it's a pigsty.
Yeah, no, and again, it wasn't the best situation. You know, again, I was working. I was coming home after work, helping out as much as I could. We had a 13-year-old who, after school, she was helping. And again, we had another person in the house who was supposed to be helping, but wasn't pulling their weight. Because of that, you know, again, obviously, Liz likes to always be the victim in a lot of situations. What will happen?
Perfect. Perfect freeze frame. This is the embodiment of Karen energy. We're getting a flashback of all of her Karenness from the past years that these guys have lived together. Always the victim, called the cops on a 6-year-old. You know? It's adding up. I don't know about Liz, man. I don't know.
Happen is she'll make up a situation such as, you know, again, of situations. What will happen is she'll make up a situation.
The fuck was that? It looked like she was trying to like erase his memory. Like, no, that didn't happen. Nah, you can't tell Dr. Phil that because you don't remember it. Ooh. Did a Jedi mind trick on his ass.
Situation such as, you know, again, she didn't call the police, yet she just admitted she called the police. You know, she went next door. I didn't give them the local number. You know, it wasn't an emergency, and yet they responded in an emergent fashion. She always comes up with these stories and somehow is the victim of these situations that she creates herself.
Gotcha. I'll get that in a minute. Now answer my question.
Yes, sir.
Why are you raising 4 children in a house that is in such disarray? You weren't feeling good? Got it. There are a lot of other people in the house, and you weren't an invalid.
I aired those same grievances. I shouldn't be the only one responsible for picking up after everybody. So that is something that I aired my grievances with, including with Liz.
And Dr.
And
Phillips.
I have had my discussions with Nathan about it too. So I mean,
And you weren't helpless, right?
no, I still got up and cooked dinners and took care of the kids. And
you know, here's the problem I've got. And listen, this is just common sense. And look, I see a lot of stuff sitting up here.
Sure.
And you guys are calling in the government to your family. You don't want to be doing that.
No.
Yeah, let's just. Dr. Phil's very, very much right here. You don't want the government getting involved in your family because that's really just a shitty situation, mainly for the children. But
Here's video of Jack.
I don't care. I guess that's it for now. First video back. I didn't feel like putting a shirt on, so no face cam. Yeah, thanks. See it.